What is going on, nation? We got a late one tonight. Let's go. What is going on, Raider Nation? We are back once again. 4 shows, 3 days or 2 days. Man, it has been fun rocking with you guys. But like I said, we got a good one. We got a late one tonight. I got my cuzzo, my primo, in the building. Chippy is in the building. What's going on, my cousin? Man, you hit me up saying you got some words for this team after Sunday's loss, and I couldn't even wait. I went live right after the game, and then I went live on my guys Jay's Raiders page, and then I went live. Yes, like bro, I kept going live after live. Like I couldn't get enough. So now we're gonna have a little bit. We're gonna talk a little bit about the game. We're gonna get your thoughts on that, and then we'll dive into some of the news that went on today. But yeah, man. I mean, let's start it right there. You know, the Chiefs, the Raiders. I mean, it looked like it was just an entire pounding. You got Geno Smith over here with 67 yards, 10 for 16. Max Genti, 6 carries, 21 yards. Leading receivers, Trey Tucker, kind of a little bright spot, but not big. 5 catches, 33 yards. But then you look on the Chiefs, it was just utter domination. Patrick Mahomes, 26 for 35, 3 touchdowns, 286. Isaiah Pacheco, 15 carries, 57 yards, a touchdown. Travis Kelce was their leading receiver yards-wise, 3 catches, 54 yards. But Rashee Rice, and who was on him? Caillou Blue Kelly, 7 catches, 42 yards, 2 touchdowns. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't stop the Chiefs. They couldn't do anything on offense. It got so bad that the Chiefs actually brought in their backups just to run the football, like run the clock out. Like it was that bad. Give me your thoughts, Chippy, on Sunday's game, Chiefs Raiders.
Honestly, what I saw was just we have poor decision making, poor play calling. For our team to not even we had 93 yards in total. That's not even a full football field in 4 quarters of football. I think Chip Kelly might have to go. Just from everything I've seen, we have Ashton Jeanty, one of the best talents that we've seen in maybe like 10 years running back wise in the draft. And he's only getting 21 yards and 6 touches in a full football game.
Yeah, and did you see what Pete Carroll said afterwards? He was like, we wanted to run the football, we just didn't have enough plays. Like that's really what set me off was that answer to that question, because like you said, you want to run the football, but Genti's only got 6 carries. Like, make that make sense. I don't care if you only got 10 plays, you're going to run Genti 10 times then, because you got statistically one of the worst quarterbacks leading the Raiders out there on the football field. It just didn't make any sense. What other things did you take away from this game?
Honestly, it's obvious that Geno says, "Oh yeah, I feel young. I feel the youngest I've ever felt." And he's playing like he's young again.
He's playing like a rookie. He's definitely playing like a rookie.
Reason he wasn't the starter on the Jets. So,
and the thing is, that's what I feel like we got. We got Jet Geno. Like and the thing is, Pete is obvious going to die with him on that hill. He is going to keep putting him out there. Geno's going to stall this offense out. Chip Kelly seems like he's handcuffed to what he can actually call. He wants to push the ball down the field, but he knows Geno's interception prone, it seems like. But yeah. I feel like that's not an excuse for Chip Kelly. I think I agree with you on the fact that I think Chip, his time might be done. Look at Josh McDaniels, and I said this. Josh McDaniels is a terrible head coach. But what is he great at? He's a great offense coordinator. He went back to what he's great at, and that's being an offense coordinator for the New England Patriots. Chip Kelly, you need to go back to where you're good at. You're good at being an offense coordinator in college, not at the NFL level. But then let's flip it on to what do the Raiders do, Chippy? That was one thing my buddy Jay Raider brought up. I brought it up in my show. Where do they go from here? Because are you kind of locked with Pete Carroll? Like, you can't just fire him at the end of the season. I mean, could you fire him at the end of the season? You can. But what does that show about this organization? Like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, obviously, then. But honestly, you don't want to look like that. So what do the Raiders do?
Honestly, I don't blame Pete Carroll. He walked in to an organization where, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to say it. We might have the worst organization in football besides the Jets and the Titans.
Oh no, we do, bro. Like, that's not even clear. Bro, I said this is the worst organization in sports right now.
Damn near. Because we have such high expectations. And people were saying we're going to be a sleeper team this year. What are we? 2-6? 2-5?
2-5? Bro, damn near 2. I don't see another win on this schedule, honestly. That Titans win might be the last, bro. Enjoy that win, because that might be the last win of the 2025 season.
Honestly, I think Pete Carroll needs to switch guys out. He needs to make changes in the depth chart. He hasn't really done that. We need to see more of Darian Porter. We need to see more of Jack Besh.
Mm-hmm.
Dante Thornton Jr., he has the talent. We can see it, but he's not getting open. There's no reason the shortest receiver on the field, Trey Tucker, should have to go up for one-on-one balls all the time.
The thing is Geno more comfortable with Trey Tucker than Thornton? The thing is, that's what I don't like. As a quarterback, you're the leader out there. He is obviously trying to just feed Trey Tucker the football. It's obvious. You're force feeding him. I've got no problem with that. Trey Tucker's balling right now. But that's where you become one-dimensional. That's where these interceptions start happening. You start looking at your first read, and you're just going to go to him. We talked about the offensive line in the beginning of the year, too. We know what the offensive line is. Like, we know the offensive line needs help. We know that. Geno is known for utilizing his legs, and we have not seen that this year at all. It was very evident against the Chiefs once again. It's been evident all season long. Something's got to change. I think going into the bye week, I agree with you. After the bye week, going into that Jacksonville game, Darian Porter has to start. Like, Caillou should not be out there. Isaiah Palomalu should not be out there. Put Chris Smith out there. I don't care. Put somebody else out there. Jack Besh needs to get way more targets. You're going to trade Jacoby. Jacoby stated today, you guys, that he does not want to be here. He wants to be traded. Why is Jack Besh not getting more targets then? Like, why are you still putting Jacoby out there? Like, put him on the bench, get him, make sure he's healthy so he can still be a trade value. You're probably not going to get a lot for him. But, that's where I go back to a lot of people beating up on Spytech. Like, oh, fire Spy, like his draft sucked. What did he do? It comes down to the coach playing these guys. Pete is not playing like outside. I said this on my show yesterday. Why is Dante Thornton Jr. getting more reps than every other person in this draft class? A 4th round pick is getting more reps than Genty, getting more reps than Besh, getting more reps than Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant. Like, why is that? Why is that even a thing, Pete Carroll? Like, you have an offensive line that is struggling, but you don't want to put 2 guys who you drafted this year on that offensive line. You do not want to put them in. And his excuse is they're not ready. That tells me there's a coaching issue. There's a coaching issue. Yeah, people can say, oh, we got a talent issue. We don't have enough talent. Okay, I could agree with that. But I feel like we could have talent and it still wouldn't matter because that's how broken this coaching staff is. I don't know what's going on behind that coaching staff, but I don't know if Chip and Pete are at odds, if Pete and Pat are at odds. This is something, Chippy, that I don't think a lot of people talk about. Are Pete and Spytech at odds? What do you think about that?
What we saw Spytech do with the Buccaneers, he rebuilt that whole organization, basically. They had Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen rebuilt that offense, and now they're still rolling, even though last night they weren't very good. But now, I don't know. I feel like Pete Carroll is too old school of a coach for modern day NFL.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I think a lot of people have said that. He's 74 years old. He is so stuck in his ways. And like I said, he's treating the 2025 season like 2012. Like, you still think you got Richard Sherman out there. You still think you got Earl Thomas, Cam Chan. Like, you don't. You have Caillou Blue Kelly, who has never been a starter until this season. You have Eric Stokes, who, I mean, he's having a decent season. Guy. Yeah, he's having a decent season because he's not getting injured. And then you have Darnay Holmes, who I don't even know why we brought him back. Like, he wasn't here when Pete was here, but he was here, I believe, under McDaniels or AP. I'm not 100% sure, but Darnay Holmes didn't even play great for us. So we're signing guys that did not even play great for us. Caillou, same thing. Caillou Blue Kelly was here with AP, and AP didn't even start him. Now Pete Carroll comes here, and Caillou just jumps the ranks into the number one starting corner role, and he's getting cooked week in and week out. But JPJ is, fighting for fighting for his job. JPJ has competition. What about guys like Geno Smith, Caillou Blue Kelly? That's I always say that. Yeah. Say, like, why are those guys not having competition? Why are you not benching those guys? I want to get your thoughts on that. JPJ getting benched early before the rest of the starters. Like, they said they took him out. They took JPJ out. It was not an injury thing. They took JPJ out, and JPJ struggled. He was getting his ass handled, but he's going against Chris Jones, one of the better defensive tackles in the game. He's going to, you expect that out of a young player like JPJ. He's going to get his bruises. You leave him out there, Pete Carroll. Like, if he's getting his ass whooped, hey, let him get his ass whooped. He ain't going to forget about it, but you take him out and you keep the rest of the starters out there. Imagine the confidence that does for JPJ. That just shoots down his confidence. And I wouldn't even blame if JPJ don't want to be here.
Yeah.
But go ahead on your thought on the thoughts. What was your thoughts on that? JPJ getting benched before the rest of the starters.
Honestly, the whole JPJ situation, why is he not lined up at center? Why are we trying to switch his position? I don't.
Everybody. Isaiah Palomalu playing free safety instead of strong safety. Dylan Parham trying to play right guard instead of left guard. Meredith playing center instead of left guard. Like, yeah.
I don't know what we're doing and like the schemes that we're coming out with. I feel like I'm watching the Josh McDaniels Raiders all over again.
Oh, bro.
Yeah,
that is how bad it is. That is how bad it is. You can't stop nobody and you can't score. Like,
yeah.
But let's go into today's news. Let's start it off with the hot. We'll actually start off with the hot topic of today's news, and that is that the Dallas Cowboys, after an ugly loss that the Raiders took, the Dallas Cowboys called the Raiders about trading for Maxx Crosby. According to Trey Wingo, the Dallas Cowboys have contacted the Raiders recently about potentially trading for Raiders edge Maxx Crosby. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. The show is titled, "Should the Raiders do it?" Should the Raiders do it? What are your thoughts when you hear that report, the initial report that it came out that the Cowboys reached out for Maxx Crosby's services?
Honestly, the day we trade Maxx Crosby is the day that our franchise shows that we gave up. We gave up. And that's what I feel. And I feel like Maxx Crosby, he'll go through adversity, but there's got to be a point, and we're almost at the point where he needs to get out of our situation, and he deserves something better. He deserves to win.
Yeah. Detroit. I mean, that's where I'm at. Like, if you're gonna trade him, you trade him to Detroit. I would love to see Maxx Crosby go to an immediate contender. I would not want him to go to Dallas. Dallas is basically us, but he might have some more wins. I will say that. But yeah, it's gonna be the same shit like Micah. But here's where I'm at. You might have to give up. You might have to blow this shit up and keep Genty and Bowers. I said it is getting to that point where everybody but first round, whoever's a first year guy, second year guy, they might be safe. But whoever's third year or over, you're tradable, including Maxx Crosby. And I'm saying it's getting to that point because you might have to blow this thing totally up, where you might have to, and it's not because we don't want Maxx Crosby. I want Maxx Crosby here. It's about getting draft capital for him. And I know people will be like, well, Our draft sucks. Like, you really trust Again, Spytek's draft is not getting played. I trust Spytek to go out there because you can still go locate the quarterback. People saying that the Cowboys are playing good and the Packers are playing good because we might get the Packers pick along with the Cowboys pick if that was going to happen. Yes, both of those teams are winning ball games and they might have a late draft pick. I still would do it because we suck. We're going to possibly get a top 5 draft pick, which you can utilize for a quarterback. You can go get Mendoza or you can go get Moore, whoever you want at the quarterback position. You can go get him with that top pick. Then with the Cowboys pick, with the Packers pick, you could go offensive line. You could build that offensive line up. You could get the best tackle, best guard that's on the board. You maybe then can double dip, maybe get another offensive lineman in round 1, or you go get a corner, or you go get a defensive end or defense tackle. You could do one of those. There's so many ways trading Maxx Crosby could benefit the Raiders. I get it. People love Maxx Crosby. I love Maxx Crosby. I don't think one Raider fan dislikes Maxx Crosby. But at the end of the day, like you said, Chippy, he's not winning here. Yeah. And it doesn't look like we're in any shape. I'm thinking about the future. And the future's telling me we're probably not going to win a lot of ball games either in the future unless we completely blow it up. And I'm talking about you might have to think about firing Pete Carroll after the season because he seems like he is stuck in his ways. You got to probably fire Chip Kelly. And like I said, if you are blowing it up, you're blowing it up. You're not. People were talking about, oh, we're rebuilding, in previous regimes. No, because they didn't really blow it up. Blowing it up is trading Maxx Crosby away. Yeah, that's really blowing it up and starting over, clean slate. We're gonna start over. What would it take for you to trade Maxx Crosby away?
At least 2 firsts for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And basically a Micah trade. The Micah trade, but in our favor.
I like it. And I said a second round. I say 2 firsts and a second. I don't want a player. I know people were telling I have one of my friends. I have one of my friends saying, oh, we should try to get Trayvon Diggs. No, I don't want Trayvon Diggs part of that. First of all, Trayvon Diggs is so overhyped. He is so overhyped, bro. He's Caillou Blue Kelly with a better name. That's the thing. He is Caillou Blue Kelly with a better name. He gives up a lot of yards. Outside of that season where he was, even in that season when he led the league in interceptions, he led the league in yards given up also while leading the league in interceptions. And also, it's also because, again, the Raiders are not in a position to make a trade for another player just to waste their time. We're not going to win anytime soon. This is going to take time. And that's why I get irritated when people come into my chat talking about DC, talking about Gruden, because I agree, but I don't want to go back to that. I agree that Gruden and Carr, they were going to kill it at the beginning of the 2021 season. We seen how that season ended up going for us. But I want to start over. I want to start with a new, young-minded head coach that can go draft his quarterback in the draft, and they can work together. And you got to give them time. I want Spytek to stay here. I don't want Spytek to get fired, and that's the problem. McDaniels was tied to Ziegler. Ziegler got fired because of those ties. Telesco, he got fired because AP just sucked. Yeah. And I felt bad for Tom Telesco. Even though people called him Coupon Tom, I actually liked his draft a little bit. With Spytek, I like his draft. Did he do anything in the offseason, like free agency-wise? No. But what did he do? He took care of our guys. He took care of Maxx Crosby. He took care of Colton. That was the most thing people were worried about was, oh, are we going to re-sign Colton? Are we going to give Maxx Crosby his guaranteed money? Spytek went out and did that. He tried to work with the deal with Jacoby Myers. They obviously didn't, they didn't come to terms. They didn't see eye to eye. Jacoby's like, get me out. Spytek's working on it. Mm-hmm. We need to stop firing the coach, firing the GM altogether, like they're a tandem. I do believe Spytek and Pete, they don't see eye to eye. They're not good. This is not a good relationship. You need to break this relationship up before it gets worse, because I believe it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah. And what I want to add to that, honestly, I feel like Spytek, he didn't want to do the Geno trade. And
it's not his guy.
He
has no ties to Geno.
Yeah, he had to trade for Geno, and then he had to give him all this money to extend him instantly. Like, I feel like
the thing is, I wasn't upset with that either, but I'll let you go ahead. Keep going.
I feel like he planned to draft a QB, but then once we got Geno, it was like, oh wait, let's just pivot. But I don't think we were going to take one of those top QBs that got taken this year. I knew we were going to take Janty. We needed Janty. We needed a running back. Mm-hmm. But all the picks he made this year made sense for our team, for our franchise. Maybe besides like getting 2 wide receivers. I don't think we needed 2. But
yeah, I don't know how to feel about Best yet. It makes sense because of the Jacoby Myers, and a lot of people say Best is similar play style with Jacoby, so it made sense to go get Best. Dante, I don't know. They waited for the offensive line to go get offensive line, in my opinion. A little bit too late. I wish they would have got. I think I like Genty, but I gotta disagree with you on that. I think we don't need Genty. This running back class was so deep that you could have went offensive line first, still got a decent running back in the second, or you could even if you did draft Genty, they should have double dipped, because who's running behind Genty? Raheem Mostert, Dylan Labe, who have Dylan. The thing is, what pisses me off is that Dylan is showing some Dylan is there's times when he's in there, he's showing that he got some flashes. He can run the football. And for whatever reason, again, Pete's not giving him the reps. It's like this guy, in my opinion, is earning reps, and you're not giving him those reps. If you're not going to run it with Genty, run it with Dylan then. Yeah. Run it with these young guys. Like, see who's going to be here next season. Because, Pete, you could fool Raider Nation. This season is over. The season is done. You're not winning another game, probably. Maybe Jacksonville, maybe the Giants. I don't know, because
I don't just win any of those.
I don't see another win. So you got to play these young guys. I agree with what you said earlier, Chippy. Is that depth chart got to get shifted. You want to talk about an offensive line shift? That entire roster needs to be shifted. We need to see a lot more Darian Porter. A lot of I don't care. I want to see Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant against Jacksonville. Yeah. I want to see them on the line. You got to play Spytek's draft. You got to see what you have with Spytek's draft. Because at the end of the day, I'm looking at Spytek's draft like, bro, he just picked these guys for nothing. It's a waste of picks.
Yeah.
It's a waste of picks. You're not even playing these guys. But going back to the Maxx Crosby trade rumors, and I'm gonna just add to this before we keep going. Because it just came out maybe like an hour ago. That the Raiders have met with Maxx Crosby, and it was the front office. Well, in the midst of that, I actually want to add this. In the midst of that, I think Maxx Crosby was probably trolling a little bit. I don't know, but he started following Cowboys players, and a lot of people started freaking out like, "Oh, what does he know that we don't know?" I found it funny, and I'm like, "Man, bro, it's social media. Like, I know that's today's day and age. Like, if I follow you, we cool. If I unfollow you, like, I don't know you." But I think he was just playing into it. He was just having some fun. But Maxx Crosby and the Raiders met earlier today to discuss his future. Crosby informed the Raiders he doesn't want to be traded, and the Raiders informed him they have no interest in dealing him to any other team. Maxx Crosby will be a Raider this season. That's loyalty. And when you hear that, Chippy, that the Raiders actually met with him and they told him, we're not going to trade you. But you also hear Maxx Crosby saying, I don't want to be traded. He wants to go through this shit show, but he wants to see this thing turn around. He wants to be here when the Raiders become a playoff caliber football team and a better organization. I mean, you hear that. I mean, you got to love Maxx Crosby even more, but they say they're not going to trade him. So again, where do the Raiders go from here?
Honestly, I don't know. I think we got to start with trading Jacoby. And I know you said you don't want to trade for a player, but seeing how Isaiah Polamau has turned out so far, we should trade Jacoby. We should trade him right back to the Patriots. Get Kyle Duggar for him. Kyle Duggar doesn't want to be on the Patriots.
And they already, there was trade rumors that Raiders were looking at Kyle Duggar. They were having some talk. Salve says Crosby is supposed to say that. I mean, I get that he's supposed to say that, but I'm not saying it won't happen. And I actually agree with Salve here. It still doesn't necessarily mean it won't happen.
Yeah.
It just means, Salve, that it's not going to happen now. I see what you mean, though. I see what you mean. I just think this means it's not going to happen now. But like I said, if it does happen, it's because Maxx Crosby wants to be out. That he is going to tell Spytek. He's going to tell Mark. He's going to tell Brady. He'll tell Pete, bro, get me out. I can't do this anymore. What we get in return for him, that's going to dictate how I'm going to feel about the trade. If we get 2 first-round picks and we get a player, I'm going to be pissed. I like the 2 first-round picks, but why we got to get a player? Why do we got to get Trayvon Diggs? Or we don't need a player. I want draft capital, 2 firsts and a second. Anything less than that, I'm going to be pissed about it. Spytek lost the trade. That is what I would want for Maxx Crosby. 2 firsts and a second. Because, and I said this last season, when people were freaking out that Spytek didn't sign anybody in the offseason. I get it. Capel was a really bad signing. I give people that. That was really terrible. That was a terrible signing. You fix this organization in the draft. What is the one thing that's harped the Raiders? They cannot draft. We say that all the time. The Raiders cannot draft. They cannot. They always get the guys like Tyree Wilson, Cleveland Farrells, Alex Leatherwoods, Jonathan Abrams, Damon Arnett's. Other word, like
Henry Ruggs, even.
Yeah, Henry. I mean, I think Henry Ruggs is going to be a superstar if he didn't do
so do I.
But it starts there. At some point, the Raiders got to start drafting well, and it looks like they're starting to figure it out. You drafted Ashton Genty. I don't care what anybody says. What he's doing with the terrible offensive line is still impressive to me.
Yeah.
Still impressive to me. Just the fact that he's he's picking up 2 yards with the offensive line that he has is impressive to me. Going into next season, what is your offseason like? I can't believe we're already talking about it going into our bye week in week 8. What is your offseason agenda if you're Spytek?
Here, let me pull up the free agents real quick.
Oh, no, just like position-wise. Like, just not even like players you're going to sign, but just what are you going to attack aggressively on?
Definitely our O-line, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of O-line talent, of course, in the draft, but we need to attack. We need to get young players everywhere. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we need role players too, though. Like we brought in Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams has actually been really good this year. Devin White, he's been really good this year. He's old, but those were actually good signings, and they're mentors, and I like that. But I feel like we need to get another linebacker. We need safety help, but I feel like we can attack safeties in the draft. But yeah, I want to see him attack the O-line. Maybe one more wide receiver.
That true wide receiver 1. I don't think could Dante be a wide receiver 1 down the line? Maybe. But you missed out on not signing Keenan Allen. You missed out because you did. Oh, that's me. That's me. The thing is, Spytek didn't want to go veteran. He didn't want to get a veteran wide receiver, and I get it. Spytek wants to give these young guys a shot. He wants to give guys like Trey Tucker, Jack Bech a shot. I mean, he drafted Jack Bech. He drafted Dante Thornton. He wants to give those guys a shot. Then Pete Carroll wants to bring in Amari Cooper, a veteran wide receiver who comes in for a few days and sees probably this crapshoot and is like, I'm getting the hell out of here. Gino's throwing it to me? Yeah, I'm getting the hell out of here. So I like what Spytek wants. He wants to see his draft on the football field.
Yeah,
That's why I feel like, is there a disconnect between Spytek and Carroll? We're gonna have to ride this season out and see.
definitely.
I think the more as games go on and the more we lose, there's gonna start being some truths coming out of that locker room. And I wouldn't be shocked if Pete Carroll resigns, quote unquote, resigns at the end of the year. They're not gonna fire him. It's gonna be like what Gruden did, where it's gonna be like, I resign as a head coach. That's what it's gonna be. And I think Pete needs to do that. Go enjoy retirement, brother. Go enjoy retirement. In other news, outside of the Maxx Crosby news, you guys, Jacoby Myers, you guys, confirmed that he wants to be traded from the Las Vegas Raiders. Shout out to Raiders Resistance on Instagram. Raiders Jacoby Myers confirms he wants to be traded still. Coming from Jesse, report Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Jacoby Myers confirmed to reporters this afternoon he still would like to be traded to a different team. Myers will still play for the Raiders if he isn't moved, according to him. He was denied a trade request at the beginning of the season. He just said, I am just focused on being where my feet are. My thing is this, Chippy, why keep a guy that obviously doesn't want to be there? And what do you believe that the Raiders could get for Jacoby Myers, and where do you think could be a trade destination for him?
Honestly, anywhere where we can get draft capital, like mid-round draft capital, because we're not gonna get a 1, 2, third round pick. We're not getting that for Jacoby Myers. He's not a true wide receiver one.
He's not Devontae. He's not Jamar Chase. Like, you be lucky. I said this. You'd be lucky to get a fifth, or you'd be lucky to get a fourth. But realistically, I see fifth.
That's why I feel like the Patriots might be the best fit for him, to be honest, because they're willing to give us Kyle Duggar for really cheap, and we can also maybe get like even a fifth or a sixth, just something.
How old is Kyle?
Try and find a talent. And then, honestly, another team the Bills.
I think a lot of people are not talking about the Bills. The Bills always they're like wide receiver, like university. It's like, give us all the wide receivers.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like they can give us something back. Like, they can give us maybe a fourth round pick for him, because they can afford. They're the type of team that can afford to give us a higher round draft pick, because they know it's going to be later in the round.
Yeah, later in the round.
So, honestly, I feel like those two are his best destinations, or even the Niners.
They definitely need wide receiver help too. Yeah. And bro, I can't stand the freaking Niners, bro, because Niner fans have been talking so much shit this week about and they've been clowning on the Raiders, like, oh, y'all got blown out by the Chiefs and this and that. And I'm like, bro, the Chiefs own you guys just like they own us. Okay, shut the hell up. But it's also frustrating because, bro, the Niners got all these injuries and they're figuring out a way to win. I'm like, bro, and we got a healthy team and we can't win. Like, they're marching out third stringers onto the football field, and they're still finding ways to win.
Man, these guys are damn near on the practice squad. They got their preseason team playing in the regular season, basically.
Yeah, and they're still winning football games. It's crazy.
Kyle Shannon.
Hey, bro, I tell Niner fans all the time, like, be grateful for Kyle Shanahan, because those Super Bowl losses, he was getting a lot of shit from Niner fans, and rightfully so. You know, nobody wants to lose the Super Bowl, and especially the way he did, given, the first time against the Chiefs, blowing the lead. Hell, even the second time, he blew the lead against them again. I get it, but y'all, I said it yesterday, Chippy. I don't know if you caught the live. Nobody can put up what we go through as Raider fans. Like Niner fans, be grateful that you guys figure out a way to win and can go to the playoffs every single year, because if y'all was on 25 years of losing, bro, Levi Stadium would be empty because y'all wouldn't show up, because y'all don't love your team the way we love our team. And I said that. I didn't care who were No one loves the team the way Raider fans love the team. We will ride and die with this team. Another thing I wanted to bring up, Chippy, and I wanted to get your thoughts on is Mark Davis finally came out of the woodwork. He stopped celebrating with the Las Vegas Aces, and he reminded himself that he has another team that he's owner of. He says that he will not fire Pete Carroll. Again, shout out to Raiders Resistance on Instagram. Las Vegas Raiders owner Mark Davis spoke to the media at the fall owners meeting in New York City today, confirming he will not fire head coach Pete Carroll per Vinny B. Davis clarified that he will, quote unquote, trust the process on making the Raiders a better team with Pete Carroll and general manager John Spytek. The Raiders are currently 2-5 in their bye week. This is where it gets funny, though, because then another report comes out that Mark Davis doesn't want to hear excuses on how bad the Raiders have been. Las Vegas Raiders owner stated to reporters that after the team's 31-0 loss to the Chiefs, that personnel within the organization tried to apologize to him and didn't want to hear any excuses on how terrible the team has been, per Vinny B. Quote, I was apologized to by some people in the organization. I told them I didn't want any apologies. I'm looking for answers. Davis said it was a really, really, really bad day for him. He remains to have, quote unquote, faith in this current coaching staff due to the fact that his WNBA Las Vegas Aces turned around a 14-14 record team that went on to win a championship recently. He wants to feel the same way about the Raiders, that they can be a winning team eventually. I wanted to get your thoughts, and then I'll give my thoughts on that. Hearing that, Chippy, how do you feel about the things that Mark Davis said today?
He if he wanted to trust the process, he chose the wrong coach to do it. Pete Carroll's not going to be our coach in 5
years.
Yeah. He's too old. I hate to say it, but he's too old.
Yeah, so, like that. I talked to another Raider fan who said, what was the end game with Pete Carroll? He's 74 years old. What was the end game? You got to go draft a quarterback. You have to go draft a quarterback. You got to develop a quarterback. Pete Carroll's not going to be here to develop a quarterback. Pete Carroll's not going to be here to develop other young guys in the building. He's 74 years old, has a 3-year contract. Fourth is the team is an team option. So you're telling me he's going to be here when he's 80 years old? Like, he's going to stay as a Raiders head coach until he's 80? I know 78, but I'm rounding up. 80 years old, like, no. Get him out. Let him go enjoy retirement. Let's get a young-minded head coach in the building. My opinion on what Mark Davis has said, it sounds like he's playing, like he's trying to be in the middle. Like, he's saying, I'm not going to fire Pete Carroll, but then he's saying, I don't want to have any excuses. Well, which is it, Mark Davis? Because I get it. You could be upset at Pete Carroll and not fire him, but it might get to that you might have to fire him. I know you want to trust the process. Bro, we've been trusting the process for 23 years, 24 years now. Like, how long do we got to trust the process before the Raiders are finally good again? Like, I don't even want to win a playoff game, bro. I want to win a regular season game, like, consistently. I want to have a winning record in the regular season before I even think about playoffs. Like, that's how bad this organization is. It's wild. And then we added wide receiver DJ Turner and guard Layden Robinson to the practice squad, you guys. In a corresponding move, we have cut guard McClendon Curtis, safety JT Woods. Don't read too much into it, guys. I think it's just bodies. It's just camp bodies. They're not going to get signed to the active roster. Other than that, Chippy, I mean, there's really nothing much else. I mean, we could preview the bye week. I'm going to ask you this. What changes during this week? Not even going against Jacksonville. We're not going to talk about Jacksonville yet. going into this bye week, if you're Mark Davis, you're Tom Brady, you're Spy Tech, what are you doing this week? I know Brady's gonna probably call a game. He probably don't give a fuck. But what are you gonna do this week if you're Mark Davis and you're John Spytek? You see the shit show that is going on with Pete Carroll and the coaching staff. If there's time to make a change, this is the time to do it. It's during the bye week.
Honestly, they have to have a sit down meeting. To be honest, they got to have a sit down meeting because Davis, he hasn't been attentive to our team the whole season. We were just talking about the aces and stuff. So like, I mean, we need everybody from ownership all the way down to the assistants, all the way down to the players. They need to all be on the same page because our team, our organization, we haven't been on the same page since we had. Not even since we had Jack Del Rio. We weren't even on the same page with Jack Del Rio. We should have never. We should have never got rid of that
at least.
So, I don't know.
And that's where I was at, Chippy. I said it. A lot of people are asking, what do the Raiders do? And a lot of people, that is a lot of people's answers, is a meeting. Like Mark Davis, Tom Brady, John Spytek, y'all got to sit down. For me, it wasn't sitting down with the entire team. It's sit down with Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, and Patrick Graham because y'all are the three-headed monster. Mm-hmm. Y'all are the three guys that should be running this. And there's obviously some disconnect between you three. What is going on in between you three? Like, where's the disconnect? And even and the thing is, this is where I'm going to bring Tom Brady into this, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Brady has to quit Fox. I would never tell another man to quit a job. No, he needs to quit Fox because I need to know, Brady, where your heart is at. Do you care about the Raiders winning or do you just care about making money off of the Raiders? What do you care about more? Making money off of the Raiders or being tied to a winning organization like the Las Vegas Raiders? What is your thoughts on Tom Brady? Do you think Tom Brady is what is he here for? Let me ask you that. What, in your opinion, what is Tom Brady here for?
The money. That's all he's shown.
That's what it's looking like.
But if he wants to prove that he really cares about this team, I feel like Tom Brady should be out there on the field because especially with our quarterback play right now, he should have a sit down talk with Gino because he's played against Gino. He's faced Gino. They're both vets. Tom Brady's the GOAT, obviously, and like they can just figure it out. Tom Brady still does lessons with other people. Why can't he actually like put his foot down and try and help our team succeed just a little bit,
Yeah, at least show something. Shout out to Oakland fans. Shout out to everybody that is in the building, you guys. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and hit that bell. Oakland fan says zero cohesion for years. 28 picks the last 3 years, and what? We could pick Genty and Bowers out of that bunch. I mean, maybe JPJ, but again, Oakland fan, they're playing JPJ out of position. Brock Bowers got in. The thing is, Brock Bowers should be playing right now, but he's not playing because of Pete Carroll and the coaching staff. Why did they put Brock Bowers out there against the Chargers when he was already injured? I get it, it's a rivalry game, but it's a long season. It's barely week 2. If you lose, which they did, I'd rather lose without Bowers than lose with Bowers and lose him for 3, 4, 5 games in the season. So I get you, Oakland fan. The draft is where it starts, Oakland fan. That's the thing. The draft is where it starts. Have we have any hope that they can fix it in the draft? No, we have not. But that's where it starts. They got to get it. It starts in the draft. It doesn't start by signing a bridge quarterback, a Band-Aid at the quarterback, signing a bunch of guys to deals in free agency. That's just a small part of it. That's the small part of it, signing free agent players. The meat on that chicken, the backbone of that chicken is the draft. That is what's going to change the Raiders to a playoff contender is the draft. And I say this all the time, Chippy. If I was the GM, if I was the GM, bro, we would have been ahead our quarterback. Yeah, Oakland fan. Hey, bro, he hit it right on the point. My point is that all the fans and content creators can make top picks. It's the scouts that make the moves late. Things got bro, man, Oakland fan, you not lying, man. And I think that's what's frustrating, right, Oakland fan? I don't know if Chippy, you could agree to this, is that why does it feel like we know better than the organization? And you don't want to say that because these guys are getting paid to make decisions. These guys are professionals at making type of football decisions. We're just fans. I'm just a guy behind a camera talking to a laptop. But why does it feel that we know more? The fan base, not just me. I'm talking about the entire fan base. Why does it feel like we know more than the guys that are in that building? I don't know if you feel that way. I wanted to get your take on that. If you ever felt that way during this season.
Honestly, for the past 5 years, I felt like the fan base knows how to make the Raiders better. Other teams know how to make the Raiders better. They can see it. Look at our division. The Broncos were terrible. The Chargers were
They were the basement for like what, 6-7 years? They were the basement to the AFC West.
They adapted. Our team just hasn't adapted. We have too many undrafted free agents or very low round picks, and we're trying to make a bunch of homegrown guys still. I feel like we need to find a real, like our only superstar, I'd say is Maxx Crosby. Then Brock Bowers is maybe next up, but that's a tight end. We need somebody in a skill position that is going to be the face of our franchise, specifically a QB. Mm-hmm. We haven't had consistent QB play since 2021 Derek Carr.
Yeah. And I love DC too. I love DC. But I said after that leg break, that's when you should have started playing with the idea that we might need to go look elsewhere in case he doesn't get back to that form, which in 2021, I feel bad for DC because the NFL did Gruden dirty. Someone brought it up to me. If NFL didn't get if they didn't have a thing to get after a vendetta to go after Gruden and Derek would be going into their 7th year together this year, 7th or 8th year together this year. You know how much that would mean to a guy like Derek Carr, the stability, and not just for Derek, but also the Raiders organization to have that stability that you have a coach that's been here for longer than 3 years. He's honestly so I agree with people. As much as I give DC crap, I gave Gruden crap. They looked like they were gonna have a promising, not just in the 2021 season, but for years to come, after that. Yeah. And then, like I said, we know what happened. Ruggs situation, Gruden situation, McDaniels coming in. I think that was just it for DC. I think he was checked out after the McDaniels hire and after that season transpired the way it did. But you're right. We got to go locate that quarterback. And I know, and the thing is, I know I say that, and a lot of people will look at me like they'll always come. I have some people that either comment or come into my chat saying, "Oh, but you missed, you wanted DC gone." The thing is, it was time. It was time to move on and break that relationship up. What I don't like, Chippy, is that they never had a plan B post Derek Carr. And that plan B was simple. The plan B was simple. Draft a first-round quarterback. I don't care who it was. You go. The thing is, McDaniels should have been fired when he told Ziegler, "No, I don't want C.J. Stroud. Do not trade up for him." Yeah. That would have been a fireable offense because then who the hell are you going to march out there? You don't got Derek Carr anymore.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, we're going to go march Jimmy freaking Pornhub Jimmy out there. Again, and it's to your point, adapting. They're not adapting. They keep going to get guys like Jimmy G, going to get guys like Geno Smith. These guys that, one, were never good. Let's talk about it like that. They were never great outside of Geno's one comeback season. They were never good. They always keep trying to get a Band-Aid at a quarterback, whether that's Jimmy G, whether, hell, Aiden O'Connell. I would throw him on that because you draft him in the 4th round expecting him to be the next Tom Brady, that Josh McDaniels, you wanted him to be your Tom Brady. No, that was not going to work. There is no quarterback on the planet Earth that will be conceived also that will be Tom Brady. There's only going to be it's like saying, oh, there's going to be another Joe Montana. There will never be another Joe Montana. There will never be another Steve Young. There will never be another Tom Brady. Like, there will never be another great quarterback like those. You got to at least bring in a first. And people was like, well, the pick's a risk. Every pick is a risk. But you have a higher chance at a first-round quarterback being something. Like, I'm tired of looking at guys like Jackson Dart with the Giants. Like, yeah, they're not winning football games, but what is Dart giving the Giants fans? Hope that we could build something around Dart. Like, Browns, I'm waiting for them to put Shador in there. I'm really intrigued to see how Shador plays with Cleveland, because Dylan Gabriel, he's playing terrible. Who else is a young freaking Cam Ward. They're not winning football games, but again, giving them hope. We could build around Cam Ward. Drake May, brother. Drake May. JJ McCarthy before he was getting injured. Look what he did with Caleb Williams. Everybody talking shit about Caleb Williams. Look what Ben Johnson is doing. Honestly. And yeah, Jaden Daniels, because Commanders, they look like they're a shell of themselves without Jaden Daniels. Like, when is it going to get in the Raiders' mind that you need, bro, Oakland fan, Bo Nix, our own division, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes? We got to deal with these three quarterbacks for almost another decade. Like, but meanwhile, the Raiders are like, now we'll go get a bridge quarterback. No. And that's why I don't like losing, but I didn't like when AP came in and we won 5 games. Like, we went like 5-4 with him. And we won meaningless games. And then even last year, we beat the Saints and we beat the Jaguars. Our Primo Nate, he was in the building against the Jaguars, and I was happy that he got to witness a win, but I was upset because I'm like, you're ruining our chances to go get a franchise quarterback. Now, the crazy thing is we still could have gotten a quarterback, like a true one. Like, we could have got Shador. We could have got Jackson Dart, and we still pass on them. That's what pisses me off. I'm telling you guys right now, telling Chippy right now, come next season, next draft, if our first pick is not a quarterback, we lost, bro, 0-17. And that draft will push us back. I don't want a second round quarterback. I want a first round quarterback. If it's not, bro, I've been watching Mendoza since he was in Cal. My dad put me on Mendoza. And I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. My dad was probably the first Mendoza fan before anybody else, unless somebody else was watching Cal Bears football, which I don't know a lot of people because they suck. Mendoza was killed, like, because I watched quarterbacks come and go with the Cal Bears. But when Mendoza was in there, different, bro. He went toe-to-toe with Cam Ward. He lost the game. But the thing is, he went toe-to-toe with Cam Ward. I thought, bro, Miami was coming into the Cal Stadium, and I'm like, bro, Miami's going to blow the Cal Bears out. Mendoza went toe-to-toe with Cam Ward. And I was like, yo, I got to keep a lookout on this kid. And my dad was like, you don't know about Mendoza? I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, I've been watching, because my dad always watches Cal games. He always watches Cal games. And he was watching Mendoza very, very closely. And I told him this season, I was like, well, Mendoza is not going to be Cal. He's going to Indiana now, which I like. I like that Mendoza did that because, okay, I want to see you play better competition. This past weekend, he had 4 touchdown passes, you guys. Guess what? He also had 4 incompletions. The same amount of incompletions he had, you guys, he had the same amount of touchdowns. There's other guys that are coming out that are also good. You got Moore out of Oregon coming out. I did like Sellers, but, bro, he's been dropping off.
Shameless.
I didn't realize how bad it was. Like, I haven't, because it takes a lot for me to follow around college football. But my guy, Sean Johnson, was telling me, bro, Sellers fell off bad. He started good, but, bro, he fell off bad. Alabama's quarterback is starting to get some. I think his name, what is it? Ty? It's Ty something.
Ty Simpson.
Yeah, Ty Simpson.
Hey,
He's getting some love. The
let me
thing
put
is,
you on to somebody.
what
Real
this
quick.
is shaping up to be that quarterback class that you can't miss. You cannot miss. You cannot go into the draft as the Las Vegas Raiders and be like, we're not going to draft a quarterback. That we have our answer in Geno Smith. We
Honestly,
have our answer in Cam Miller or Aiden O'Connell. No, you got to go draft your quarterback. Hey, McLuffy, this kid also is getting getting a lot of talk. Diego Pavia, I think who was it? It's a college that I think is not.
Vandy. Vandy. He goes to Vandy.
Yeah, Vanderbilt. That Vanderbilt don't get a lot of love, bro. And again, you got quarterbacks putting colleges on the map that you don't think about, bro.
One
I'm
very
telling you,
not
this is the year. 2026, you guys, is the year the rate, bro. This is shaping up to be a class that they might not even miss. This might be one of those classes where you got 4 quarterbacks you can choose from, and either one of them could be a hit. But the thing is, you got to draft one of them, or go through. The thing is, I want them to go through the process, watch their tape, scout them at the scouting combine, go check them out on pro days, bring that all together. Like my brother Wasted said, he said on his show, do this thing right, do your due diligence, but it's got to be one of those guys at the quarterback position.
Hey, I have somebody. I don't know if you've heard the name. His name's Trinidad Chambliss. He came in for Ole Miss at first game after their starting quarterback got injured. He was a D2 Heisman. He stepped up. He he's right now they're 5-1 and lost by a touchdown to Georgia.
Wow. Bro, I'm telling you, this quarterback class is shaping up to be, at least for the Raiders, it's shaping up to be one of those classes you just cannot pass up on. I get it that Jaden Daniel, that class when they had like 6 or 7 quarterbacks going like in the first 12 picks. I get it. You couldn't pick because you're at 13. I felt you could have traded up. That's just me. But bro, Big Spank, you trolling, right? Big Spank, please tell me you trolling, bro. Please tell me you trolling, bro. You know who Carson Beck reminds me of? Carson Beck reminds me of Carson Palmer, but the Oakland Raider Carson Palmer, the one that was just throwing shit. Like I hear you, Big Fan. The thing is, I like Carson Beck, but he's had some nasty games that you can't ignore. Like some nasty games he
The
had
last game
last year. Yeah, his last game was terrible. 4 interceptions, and then the game I watched last year against, I think it was Alabama, he had 4 interceptions on that one. Oh, bro, my goodness! Like I'm like, after that game against Alabama, I'm starting to fall. I'm gonna be honest, Big Spank. I'm falling out of favor with Carson Beck. Hey, you might know something about Carson Beck. Maybe he goes to a great situation. I don't know, Big Spank, but I'm not a huge fan of Carson Beck anymore because, dude, he's had some really, really bad games at the collegiate level. And the thing is, it only gets harder at the NFL level. It worries me, man. Those games that he's had, those 4 interception games, they worry me. McLuffy's like the one that didn't want to be in Oakland. I remember. Hey, bro, nobody wanted to be in Oakland. Oh, bro, Big Spank, I hear, bro. Actually, that's I hear you on that. I hear you on that. He said before he got injured, he was the best. The thing is, you know what's crazy though, Chippy, is that with Carson Beck, that's what scares me with quarterbacks, is post injuries, post injuries, and because they never played the same. Like he said there, he was great before he got injured, and then when he got injured, it all changed. It's like that's what scares me. Now, hey, I'll say this, Big Spank, do you double dip at quarterback? Do you go get You go do what Cleveland did. You draft a first round quarterback, and then later, like the 5th or 6th round, you go get Carson Beck. Because I don't know about you, I don't think Carson Beck is going to be a first round pick. Maybe not even a second.
He'll be a
like
mid.
maybe 3rd, maybe 4th. But like I said, I wouldn't even pick Carson Beck at 3rd or 4th. We'll see though, Big Spank. I hear you. I'm gonna keep an eye on Carson Beck, bro, for you. I'm gonna keep an eye on him, and if he makes me eat my words, Big Spank, he gonna make me eat my words. I won't be mad at that. I won't even be mad at that. Also, Chippy, this is gonna stay between me and you, but fuck you. I'm not saying I was not saying that. How many times was I saying that?
4 times.
Oh, I didn't even catch my bro. Everybody in the chat, I guess people in the chat didn't even catch me, but we've been over an hour, man. Chippy, anything else you wanna lay in on the Raiders before we get out of here?
Nah, I feel like I said what I have to say. There's nothing to say at this point. I mean, I feel like the team, they don't listen to their fans at this point. They don't listen.
And I get it. I get it. We're just fans. We may not know better, but it's like there's all what's going on right now. It's not working, and I think that's what's frustrating me is that you can clearly see what they're trying to do. It's not working, and they keep trying to do the same thing. They keep trying to do the same thing, expecting different results. Definition of insanity. Like that's literally what they're doing is insanity work. Will they change? Will they change it, you guys? Freaking ain't O'Connell miss me yet? No, bro. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Aiden. I'm gonna tell you right now. Stay on the IR, bro. That offensive line, bro. They gonna do you dirty, Aiden. I'm telling you right now. You ain't got legs, my brother. You ain't got wheels. I'm gonna keep it a buck, brother. You got cinder blocks for feet, bro. Like that offensive line is gonna get you killed, man. You gonna want to stay on that IR, bro. I'm gonna leave it with this.
The practice squad.
Yeah, bro. Stay on the practice squad, my guy. Stay on the practice squad. Oakland fan, we'll leave it with this. The coaching doesn't even know to keep Mahomes on the sideline. Insane work. Hey, but Oakland fan, he wanted to run the football, right? Genty getting 6 carries. That's crazy. Hey, Aiden, not yet, bro. I ain't high yet. I don't get high from my shows. But anyways, you guys, thank you guys for pulling up for a late night with Primo. Bro, Chippy, we gotta try to do this again, man.
Definitely. I wanna do a show for sure when the draft gets closer and then once playoffs gets a little closer.
Okay.
Maybe if we start winning a little more, then
Hey, I'll keep you in the loop. We'll probably see if we can make a Tuesday show happen or even a Wednesday night show. We could do something like that. Or even because I know you got school, so I'll even make it easy for you. Maybe even Saturday night or something like that. Make it easy for you.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. We'll keep in touch. But anyways, you guys, thank you guys for pulling up. On the way out, if you guys are not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing. Also, get them likes up, you guys. It pushes this video, this channel out in the YouTube algorithm. And also hit the bell so you guys are not missing anything from Raiders Primos. I might have my guy Chippy on again. And he's gonna be laying into the Raiders. Hopefully not. Hopefully, man, we got some good shows. But definitely, Chippy, we're gonna definitely when draft comes around, we're definitely gonna have to bring you back on, man. But anyways, y'all, have a good night. Have a good rest of your Tuesday. If there's any news tomorrow, you guys, we'll be back same time, not same time at 6:30, my usual time, 3:00 p.m. Pacific, 6:00 Eastern time for you guys on the East Coast. But with that, love y'all. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Stay safe out there, you guys. The world's kind of crazy right now, so stay safe. Hold your loved ones tight. One of my coworkers, they just lost a family member. It's just making me think to hold your loved ones close. So definitely, guys, hold your loved ones close. Tell your loved ones that you love them. Do not go to sleep without telling your mama or your family, your dad, you love them. Like I'm literally gonna call my dad and my mom. Like I love them. Life is short, you guys. Life is short. So definitely reach out to your family, you guys. With that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Again, love y'all. Appreciate. Have a great night. We out. Peace.